the banned death penalty. They called it Operation Silent Scare, a punishment so brutal that even the Navy SEALs refused to discuss it. The victim? A traitor who sold secrets to the enemy. The method? Buried alive, with a brutal twist. This story was never meant to leave the archives. Vietnam Revenge Protocol. Vietnam, 1968. A U.S. soldier killed civilians. His punishment? Demobilized, thrown in a tiger cage, and turned over to the Viet Cong. The Pentagon denies it, but veterans swear it happened more than once. The Desertion Horror. World War II, 1944. 10 men were released before D-Day. Their fate? Forced to dig their own graves, then face trial before their unit. The firing squad was just the beginning. Their names were erased from history. Black Site Experiment. Declassified files reveal a black site where prisoners of war were subjected to enhanced interrogation. But one method went much further, being kept in tanks of frozen water for 24 hours until hallucinations began. Even the CIA called it inhumane. Ignominious Release from hell. Some punishments aren't about death, they're about shame. In 1953, a Marine who collaborated with the enemy was branded with a hot iron, then paraded naked through the camp. The footage? Destroyed. Allegedly. Nuclear test punishment. 1950s. Rumor has it that rebel soldiers were chained to posts as human experiments during nuclear tests. Officially, myth. But radiation logs show unexplained names, and no bodies have been recovered. Code Red gone wrong. Before a few good men, there were real mysteries. In 1989, a whistleblower was beaten to death. His unit called it a training accident. The case was closed, until a diary was published years later. The Desolate Grave. Guantanamo's darkest secret. A room called The Hole. No light, no sound, just constant isolation. Some prisoners begged for the death penalty instead. The Red Cross called it psychological murder. Forgotten whipping. Civil War, 1863. Union soldiers caught looting were publicly whipped. 50 lashes, salt rubbed into the wounds. Photos exist, but museums won't show them. Too graphic for modern audiences. Live burial. Iraq, 2006. A rebel leader was buried up to his neck in the desert, left to the scorpions. The Pentagon called it local justice. The video? Leaked, then deleted from the internet. Operation Phantom Scream. In 1952, 12 soldiers went missing on a secret mission in Korea. 3 years later, one of them returned alive. His diary read, "They punished us with the lack of light. We are still there. The rest of the pages have disappeared." The Whispering Wall. A corridor on the ground floor of the Pentagon is called the Screaming Wall. In 1987, a cleaner wrote, "I heard someone crying, but the door has been locked for 40 years. He was nowhere to be found the next day." The Mystery of the Blackbird. The night before D-Day in 1944, British spies received a message on the radio. "The Blackbird has broken its wing. Punishment will be eternal darkness." The next morning, 300 American soldiers were missing. Only their helmets were found, each with a raven feather tucked into it. The Forgotten Battalion. A secret report from 1968 mentions the Delta Echo 9 Battalion. The problem? There are no records of this unit. Only one photo is available. 20 soldiers standing back to back, their shadows falling in opposite directions. Midnight Marathon. In 1955, night watchmen at a Nevada base reported seeing 12 soldiers running for hours. All were found healthy in the morning, with sea sand on the soles of their shoes. The problem? The nearest sea is 300 miles away. The voice from the well. In 1991, a radio signal was picked up from an abandoned well in Iraq. "This is Captain Miller. They are punishing us with invisible fire." When the coordinates were traced, only an empty helmet was found. Fresh rose petals inside. The mirror room. No one talks about Room 13 at Guantanamo. Only in 2006 did one prisoner write, "In the mirrors, I don't just see myself. I see how he enjoys my punishment. He committed suicide the next day, but there were no mirrors in the room." The Clockwork Soldiers. A diary was found after the fall of Berlin in 1945. The Americans punished like clockwork, the same thing over and over again. It was accompanied by pictures of 12 identical clocks, all stopped at 4:14. No one knows what happened in Paris during this time. The Invisible Scar. In 2003, a soldier was admitted to a hospital in Baghdad with invisible burns. The doctor's note read, "He has no wounds on his skin, but he screams when someone touches his arm." At the time of his death, deep gashes suddenly appeared on his body, like old wounds. The Last Letter. In 1969, a soldier wrote home from Vietnam, "I will be punished forever because I have seen what they are bringing." At the end of
If you enjoyed this journey into a forgotten time, be sure to like, share, and subscribe for more untold stories, ancient mysteries, and cinematic adventures. Because the world is full of mysteries, and we're just getting started. Enjoy what you saw, then subscribe now, because more lost worlds await.